Alright, so here's a story that starts like something of a tragedy, but then slowly becomes far, far more complicated. A reputed school, a class 3 student, and a snake bite. Trust me, that's the recipe for a complete chaos. And all hell did break loose once the story broke on air. What will you? Now, at first glance, it's very dramatic. A child, a snake bite, a reputed school. All the ingredients that you need for utter and complete chaos. And that's exactly what happened when the story first broke on air. But well, now, this is exactly where things start getting a little odd. According to the school sources, the child didn't tell anyone, not the teacher, not the infirmary, not a single authority figure inside the school. Instead, she goes home and only then informs her mother. Now, pause here. Because if a snake bite actually happened on campus, silence is the last thing you would expect. And then comes the twist, the mother. Almost immediately after the alleged incident, she begins sending voice notes in the schools. Almost immediately after the alleged incident, she begins sending voice notes in the school's multiple WhatsApp groups. Not one, not two, multiple voice notes. And here's the problem. Each voice note tells a very different version of the story. Different claims, different allegations, different versions. At one point, she claims the school knew and did nothing. At another, she suggests the principal himself was ready to go against the management, which frankly sounds highly unlikely. And then the escalation. Talks of filing the FIR. But the hospital records, they just tell a completely different story. The hospital record says the case is treated as a medical legal one. Standard protocol when there's uncertainty, but not quite matching the intensity of the accusations being made. Now let's talk about the medical side. Doctors at the private hospital reportedly state the snake was non-venomous. The child recovers, stabilizes, goes home, which is, of course, a relief. But this also raises a very, very critical question. If the bite wasn't dangerous and the reporting of the incident is inconsistent, what exactly happened here? Was it panic? Was it misinformation and miscommunication? Or was it a drastic attempt to misamplify the entire situation? Because here's the real concern. Beyond the headlines, beyond the accusation, a child's future is now entangled in a narrative that keeps shifting, and that is far more serious than the incident itself. The school, meanwhile, acknowledges that something was reported, but they're now questioning the credibility of the claims, pointing directly at the inconsistencies. And Rashtrix, we were the first ones to break the story, and now we're digging deeper. Not just to the claims, but now inside exactly what happened after the situation. Because sometimes the real story is not what happened. The real story is what followed after what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ilmaz, Syed. Keep watching Rashtrix.